Oh, you got it too. Oh, you got it. Oh, you got it. You got it.
Welcome to Brother Talk. I'm your host, Mark Carven, Managing Director of the Midwest Minority Think Tank. And welcome once again to Brother Talk. And tonight promises to be more of solution-driven dialogue. And that's our impetus. That's what motivates us to come together and to bring our concepts to you and our ideas to you in the form of how we move forward with solutions. And right now, there's a lot of talk in the media about Ice Cube's contract with Black America. I'm not here to dissect the brother's work. I commend the young brother for what he set forth. But I would like to say that he has, and I've read it, and I would encourage you to read it before you rush to any type of conclusion. There's been a lot of things said about him negatively, and that his contract with Black America does not set forth solutions or enough substance. Some have said that's not what I want to do this evening. I want to just say that the brother has put forth a strong skeleton, and he's a strong sinew to hold it together. And why would I say that? He set forth 13 things in his contract with Black America, and the fact that he's taken the time with his team and set together their vision for representation. Number one, lending reform, federal funding, the Federal Reserve, finance oversight, data and credit, prison reform, judicial reform, a Police Reform Act, FCC licensing, Confederate Institution, AGP program, and Black responsibility. All these are commendable outlines or a template that he's put together. And I'm not going to try to interpret what he did or critique what he's done. I simply want to state that the man has set forth a skeleton, and he's a strong enough sinew to hold it together. One, because he has access to those who can resolve his issue. And that's what creative tension is all about. That's what protesting is all about. To get to the table, direct your protest, direct your action to someone who can resolve your issue. And he's done the right thing. You have to deal with whoever's in power if that's where your protest is directed and that's how you plan to resolve your issue. You have to come to the negotiation position, and he's done that. And now, for those who disapprove of his proposal or what they feel lacks in his proposal, if you have that kind of a platform, why not call the brother, sit down with the brother, and add to what the strength that you have to his proposal. Now he has access, he has a platform, he has a following, he has a constituency, and so with that, given the opportunity, I would submit what I could do to help strengthen and tie together the substance that he needs to go forward. And that's where I am today on Brother to Brother Talk. We need to get behind any brother who has the opportunity to put forth a solution that can uplift the Black community and help to build up brothers and sisters across this nation. His stance is, he has identified his stance that he's working for Black people. He makes it clear, not minorities, not people of color. He's concerned about the Black community. And so with that, I would like to join forces with him in the fact that he has a visible skeleton. And I don't want to say that in a negative manner. I'm saying that in the fact that he has something out there now that we can hang some flesh on it. And that's what we should do as brothers. That's the brother to brother talk. The brother has laid out the template. He set something in place. He is utilizing his strength. And his strength is that he's strong enough to bring something to the table that makes sense. Maybe lacking, yes, in certain areas, but what's lacking is an effort by others to come forward, join with him, and work out the solution while the door is open. The accessibility it does, and he made the statement that he's working with. He'll work with whoever's in power, and that's the point. If you align yourself with one entity, and that entity does not deliver, and then you have done yourself a disservice. But if you present something that's strong enough that requires all who are in positions of power, a position to make decision, a position to help further your uh, agenda, then you have strength. Then you have negotiation power. Then you have the ability to discuss what it is that you have in mind and how it can benefit others. But when you are at the mercy of someone doing you a favor, doing something for you, and you're not negotiating, you're asking for a handout. The emotional past of the '60s, when people felt that you could browbeat people with that social conscious uh, feeling that they felt sorry or embarrassed by them not taking action. I think that ship has already sailed. Now what we have to do is come from a position of strength. And so Ice Cube comes from a position of strength because he has a platform. He has the microphone. He has access to the people. And he also has access to the halls of power. And so to attack that brother is doing the whole community a disservice. Well, what we should be doing is finding a way to get with that brother and help build out the skeleton that he set forth. It's not going away because, like I said, he's a strong enough sinew to hold it together, and he can hold it together until brothers join with him, and that's the objective. How can we help solidify what he has already undertaken? And it doesn't have to be one voice. We've gotten into this thing where if it does not suit all, then we discard it for some reason, and that's the wrong attitude. And so there are some ideas that I have, and I'm sure if I have ideas that I see I would be willing to assist and set forth some flesh to help build out the contract with Black America that Ice Cube has launched. Then let's do that. And then there should be other brothers and sisters out there that have ideas. And it's not about what I like about what he set out with the contract with Black America. It requires now solution and meat and substance, and not just to have a great number of so-called organizations or other people of like status, or then you have this peer thing going, and solutions aren't being manifest. So I think that what he started is a magnificent start, and once again I commend him for doing so. Now what we need is an opportunity to sit across from the table with him and help him build out this skeleton, this template that he's put in place with his team, and hear what some other people are saying with solutions rather than making it a roasting of him in the media and continually setting forth the template or attacking the template or attacking his skeleton before he's had an opportunity to build it all the way out. And I think that a brother that has taken such a bold step as he had, he would be willing to address that. Of course, I can't speak for him. I can't speak for him, but I can speak to the fact that There should be more brothers and sisters who are willing to take that leap and put the skeleton out there and hold it together by your own sinew until we can build it out and get the end results that you're seeking. I'm going to take a break and then we'll be right back with more Brother to Brother Talk. This is Brother to Brother Talk. We will take a break and we'll be right back. I'm Mark Carven, Managing Director of the Midwest Minority Think Tank. We'll be back with more solution-driven dialogue on Brother to Brother Talk.
Beef.com.
Welcome to the free audio rendering of Not Without Scars 2. Such an insightful and impactful work must be accessible to the countless number of people living similar life experiences. Becoming a best-selling author pales in comparison to creating a tool capable of instilling hope in a multitude of people trapped in the valley of decision. My greatest profit comes in helping others emerge victorious over their life struggles. My goal is to encourage individuals to follow their dream. My message: you must never quit on your faith, pursuing your aspiration or vision. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Take a moment, invite your family, friends and acquaintances, and enemies to listen to this work chapter by chapter. It is free to listen as well as free to subscribe. Peace, love, and phenomenal blessing.
How do I write my life story? I know hurt and pain. I don't like either one, whether physical or emotional. Herein contains my story, Not Without Scars, Part 2. Optimism, perseverance, persistence, resilience. 2 decades of personal struggle. Optimism. I faced the new millennium with hopefulness. Perseverance. My ego, my humble beginnings, my desire to achieve never allow me to turn away from a difficult task. Persistence. Opposition should be anticipated as an effective strategy to victory surfaces. Resilience. Difficulties do not automatically spell termination. Scars reveal my imperfection as reminders of past episodes of pain, sorrow, or triumph. Scars can tell beautiful story endings or relay misery that wishes to remain anonymous. This work is meant to help others who have experienced decades of struggle. When struggles appear to never end, you must get through the night and face the challenge of a new dawn with fresh hope.
Welcome back to Brother to Brother Talk. I'm Mark Carven, Managing Director of the Midwest Minority Think Tank. And we are here tonight to encourage and to inspire, to bring more and more solutions to the table and to the community and to the nation, and not get sidetracked by trying to determine who should be out front. Let's join together, seek to put sinew on any skeleton that is being upheld uprightly by strength and will not be bogged down by the weight of someone adding to what is already there. And let me make that a little clearer. We're talking about Ice Cube's contract with Black America. And I make the statement that I feel it's a strong skeleton. And I think he's strong enough by his mere presence and position to hold it together until the flesh is put on the skeleton to bring to full fruition that which he has proposed. So rather than cause a rift or divide in the community because his proposal doesn't seem to align with what others are thinking, then we come into the attack mode, and that has to cease. If we're going to find a way to bring about an elevation and cultivation of solution that will elevate the Black community, the vicious attacks against someone because their approach is different from yours, it seems to be an act of futility, and it's almost like a civil war when it's not necessary. And so there should be more skeletons put out by strong sinew that can hold it together until we can form a collective position, or collaborative position, where our strength is the as adding to the negotiation power, as opposed to simply having one tool by which we approach the matter. I commend you for going out voting and doing that. But come November the 4th, it's too late to negotiate. You have to have a position of strength to negotiate. And so this brother has a position of strength. His contract with Black America is a start. Is a start, and not just the first start. It's his start. And so rather than attack his start, create your start. And so when the start sets forth a skeleton where we can all hang some flesh onto it until it reaches the fruition state that the originator intends, then we should all work together to build toward that. I have 5 principles that I think could be enacted in this time, and I take it from my one of my works on building a network of problem solvers. The manner by which you disseminate the ideas associated with a project can warm the hearts of listeners. How do you convey your message? If you can put it into easy to understand language, your commitment and sincerity will come forth, and people will embrace your initiative. And I think that brother has done that. He set it out there. He said, his team's been working on it. He's willing to do this. He's put his name on this. And that means that his character is on this. And so I commend him for that. And it's a believability of your character that will channel your reasoning. And that's what we have to grasp onto. What is the reasoning? And the reasoning that I'm hearing is he's zeroed in and focused on the elevation of the Black community and helping Black people to find and achieve equality. And so, with that, your constituency will see your passion and for the initiative, and your passion should be radiant and shine visible as a distant star against a black sky. And when you're stationary in light, it can become dependable for direction. And I think that's what I'm seeing with this brother. That he put something forth that can be dependable for direction. If we are willing to see that there is light there, and it's not just rhetoric. I think that we should see something that's brilliant, shining before us as an authentic, polished jewel. It sparkles brilliantly, but it doesn't blind you from someone else having some jewelry that's also bright and shining. And so we don't want to get lost in the gaze on one star that we miss the fact that the sky is full of stars. And so that's what I call channeling your reasoning. Second, you have to nurture your reasoning. And you can't nurture your reasoning if you think everything that you have is perfect and everybody else what they have is a false assumption. And so with that, research and before we side with something, it's simple. You read what's going on, research what's going on, and then you come to a greater enlightenment. And that's what I mean by nurture your reasoning. It's not all about impulse. It's not all about emotion. There has to be some detailed research done, and find out what do we build upon, and what new what new information can we release, and not just information, new analysis of old information, In addition, we must also nurture our reasoning as so that what we're setting forth can become a precedent. And that's what we're looking for. How do we set precedents so that we're not spending so much time fighting the same battles over and over with the same type of with the same tactic, and hoping that someone somewhere else has a change of heart and that we will get a different result. No, I think that we have to nurture our own reasoning so that our reasoning is strong enough to stand when others come after. So that's why I don't mind referring to it as a skeleton until we get the full body weight in place, the full muscles in place. It has to be held together by someone with a strong sinew. And so that's the point that allows us to nurture our reasoning. And then the third thing is you have to liberate your reasoning. In order to liberate your reasoning, you have to be in the process of determining your course of action. Eliminate any need for a camouflage agenda. Know what it is that you want. State it. And so when a brother or sister is bold enough to create an agenda and then bold enough to put that agenda before everyone, that's a big step of transparency, a beginning that says, here is something that we can do. Now, rather than say, no, that's not it, work together. Liberate your own reasoning, that your reasoning may only be one part of something bigger than yourself. And so then how do you add what you have to make something work better for someone else and not feel that you've been left out? And if you don't get the premier seat at the table, you're not going to share what you feel is your part. And that's not how we're going to achieve the putting the flesh on the skeleton, by you withholding your piece. You may only have a finger. You may only have a thumb. You may not even be a full arm. But as we build this body that will take us to the fruition that we are seeking as visionaries, as agents of change, we must be willing to liberate our reasoning from controlling, because 100% of nothing is still nothing. So we have to liberate our reasoning and be willing to join with others whose skeleton is already in place, so that we're not spending time keep building skeleton and not have the sinew to hold it together until others can come and place the flesh on it. Once again, we have to learn to liberate our reasoning. I'm going to take another quick pause, and we'll come back to Brother to Brother Talk. This is Brother to Brother Talk. We will take a break and we'll be right back. I'm Mark Carven, Managing Director of the Midwest Minority Think Tank. We'll be back with more solution-driven dialogue on Brother to Brother Talk.
BrandonBeef.com.
The Great Lockdown of 2020, a mid-crisis analytical report, represents a historical work. The people provide indicators to their needs and roles in building and establishing the new norm. The voice of the people places at the fingertips of decision makers knowledge of how the area's resources should be deployed to best serve the society and address the needs and concerns of the people going forward. This study serves as a guide to where key research should be directed and sets the course to engage resources during crises by future social theoreticians. Comparison of responses on multiple levels provide an uncanny insight. The capture of a population's response in the midst of a crisis compared to a post-crisis reflection shall prove to be of monumental value into human reactions facing uncertainty during and post a calamity.
Welcome back to Brothers to Brothers Talk. I'm Mark Carven, Managing Director of the Midwest Minority Think Tank, and we're discussing 5 principles to enact, and that means that we can get something done. And these principles, I'll review them quickly. 1 is channel your reasoning. 2, we talk about nurture your reasoning, and 3, liberate your reasoning. And we're going to conclude with the final 2. I'll wrap this up. You have to learn to hone your reasoning. You must zealously make a new learning a prestigious element of your composition. Prepare willingly and add handsomely to your knowledge base. No matter who you are, you can always add to your knowledge base. And that's a key point of sharpening your skills, and always be willing to add to your knowledge base. And when you add to your knowledge base, it requires parting as a motivator. You become a part of an area of presentation. It requires persistence in reaching beyond your current learning index, and to acquire new knowledge, you must willingly expand your depth of learning. So no matter how brilliant your current status may be, always hone your reasoning based on adding to your knowledge base. And so this is important in conveying your message. You must always apply tenacity, but you have to also exercise your reasoning so that it's an exert of the faculty of your logical thought. You never wish for your well-intended action to be result in misinterpreted doggedness. So that's part of honing your skill, your ability to convey what it is that is within you, and your willingness to learn from others, and then hone what you have so that it's better suitable to serve others and to reach what it is your goal. And finally, the 5th is exercise your reasoning, your persistence without intrusiveness. Whenever the lack of resources surface, you must exercise persistence without intrusiveness. You have to be persistent, but you also have to be aware that your role can be a substantial role, but your role is not the only role. And then you continually perform with honorable recognition of what it is that you intend to present, and also recognizing that others have also something to contribute as a valuable tool. And that you don't get lost and become an obnoxious individual in your desire to find a way to bring a greater enlightenment to the people. And having made those kind of statements, I just want to say that the Midwest Minority Think Tank is about solution-driven motivation, solution-driven impetus. That's how impetus is to find solutions and strategies that will work to bring forth a solution to whatever the conundrum, whatever the issue may be. I'm Mark Carven, Managing Director of the Midwest Minority Think Tank, and I know that each of you out there have some flesh to put on the skeleton to help bring about a healing and the completion to restoration and a renaissance for the Black community.
Oh, you got it too. Oh, you got it.